going on, Archons? Welcome to another edition of Crucible and Cognac, the evening interview TCO game where we play a little KeyForge and sip on some adult beverages. This evening I have with me my pal Ryan from Seattle, and he is just the most stand-up dude, an awesome KeyForge player, and I am so happy that we came across each other through happenstance and have forged a friendship as a result. Ryan, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for all the nice words about me. I feel the same about you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. So first off, happy birthday.
Ha! Thanks.
This is pretty awesome that we're kind of like telecommuting, celebrating your birthday over KeyForge and adult beverage, which I realized as I was setting up. I'm like, that's kind of awesome. So,
Seriously.
yeah, I was pretty stoked about that. And why don't we just start things off by telling me about your deck so we can get the game started and do everything else in the interview process.
Sure,
Oh, it's
sure.
this deck.
So I listened to your podcast, and you guys talked about lean forging a while ago, and so it's really driven me to kind of evaluate all of my decks. And I found this deck in my collection. I had never played it, and I had previously discarded it because it had so few creatures. And then I started looking at it, and I realized that this deck actually benefits from having all of its creatures dead. It has three cards that want me to have no cards and you to have creatures. It has two Trust No Ones and what's the Logos card that archives all your cards if you have no
Master
cards?
the Theory.
It has Masters of Theory.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yep. Okay, I'm not looking forward to this now.
It's kind of a racing deck, but also this weird thing about wanting everything of mine to be dead.
Okay, got it. Fun. So for me, I'm actually bringing a fun deck that it kept like coming up to me and like I noticed it and the name's really cool. Well, first let's say your name. Your name's pretty sweet. Restless Eagle Aramis. And then the deck I'm rocking is the Hovering Virtuoso of Hocket.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I really like the name of this one, and this deck for me is it just has really cool stats like on SAS. Like I really liked it, and it has Star Alliance, which is I think no one's going to be surprised when I say it's my favorite house.
Yep.
With a lot of really cool things in Star Alliance, and then it has some cool things in Logos. Like I feel like you could probably pull off Data Forge with this deck. I see it has the tools that make it seem likely, and as well as a few other things that I think could be really handy in Dis. So I'm a big fan of Obsidian Forge, especially with Harbinger of Doom.
Yep.
And I just think there's some cool possibilities with this deck. So I really like it, and I decided I kind of wrote it off. Actually, literally the exact same way you just described. You found yours is I was sorting my collection this week, and I kind of decided this deck was not going to be in the box that is play this stuff and everything else you sell. And I kind of took this one out, but upon like second thought, now I'm kind of like, this has a lot of things that I think could be very, very interesting. So without further ado, let's get this game rolling, and I will ask you a few questions about yourself and KeyForge.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, nice. Not what you want in your opening hand.
It's tough.
Not much better. Okay. Let's go with a Logos turn. I'm going to play Tau Vapors. And throw that in my archives for now. All right, that's going to be my turn. All right, so Ryan, my first question for you is, what are you sipping on tonight?
So I'm a fan of old fashioned. So I made myself an old fashioned. I think it's actually an old fashioned. I mean, I put scotch in it. I put some maraschino cherry juice, some orange, and this kind of celery based liquor, and then a little bit of bitters.
Yeah, it sounds pretty much like it. Some sort of like whiskey sort of base drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, how could you do that to me? You got rid of my Kirby. That's straight up like I should just disconnect the game right now. Okay, so I see how this is gonna go. My next question for you is, oh, I'm so disappointed in you right now. Like
Just random, man.
yeah, just random. I guess I will grab my archives at this point. Oh, you're the worst right now for that one. Just random. Okay. So my next question for you is, why don't you tell everyone just a little bit about yourself? Like who is Ryan?
Ha. Let's see. I'm a software engineer, is what I would say. But now I actually, oh, you infernused me. Now I actually work for Amazon as a manager. So I
Oh,
think
nice.
first and foremost, that's who I am. I'm like a software engineer. But I've always been a gamer. I play games a lot with my parents and my brothers, and then in high school I played a bunch of Magic the Gathering, and then a few years ago, I guess how long has KeyForge been out?
A year and a bit.
A year and a bit. I've been playing it pretty much since the beginning. Close.
Okay. Interesting. And you played Magic before, you said, right?
I did. I played it a bunch in high school, um, back before like there was the internet, but it didn't make sense, or it wasn't something that I would have considered to look up things for Magic on the internet. If that makes any sense, if that gives you
Gotcha.
any sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good grief. I see what's happening here, and I don't like it.
I like it. It's great.
Sure. So my next question for you is, what is yeah, I'm gonna remember you straight up said you're not gonna be playing creatures. Good to know. My next question I have for you is, um, like, how did you get into KeyForge? Like, what was the path that led you to decide that this is something you want to invest time in? Because let's be honest, like it takes up a lot of time. Like I don't think I was fully prepared or was ready to understand how much time playing KeyForge was really going to be.
Totally. So I guess the first thing that happened was I heard about it, and I was just like, "Oh, Richard Garfield made another game." And to be honest, I saw, just from afar. I saw the game. I didn't really look at it at all, and I kind of dismissed it as kind of like, "Oh, that's like a fad or whatever." I didn't really give it a chance. And I was like, I went to the Board Game Geek convention and I saw it playing there, and I was kind of like, oh, maybe I'll check it out. And then I got sucked into other games. But my friend, Fook, from forever ago, he actually bought it for me for my birthday, and I played it, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I think playing Magic the Gathering, I always hated the whole, um, like drawing one card a turn and getting hosed by because you didn't get any mana. And then when I played, it wasn't really so much the net decking. Like I said, the internet really wasn't
Hmm.
doing much, but it did get expensive, and that's why I got out of it.
Okay.
All right, I got to focus here. What am I doing to you? Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
You just played United Action, so you can play Logos and Star Alliance. That's what you just did.
It's the best. You know you're jealous.
Yeah, I am.
I'll take. Oh, this is a hard one. Dang it.
You got your General Order 24, didn't you?
I didn't, but I got something else. So lame. What's your deck got in it? I do feel like playing on TCO, it gets you in kind of a bad habit of like, oh, I can look at your deck list whenever I want. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't usually do it. I only do it if I'm like testing out a new deck and I'm not familiar with it. As soon as I'm familiar with a deck, and if it's like a deck that I know I'm going to be using in any sort of like competitive arena, I kind of won't use it
Right.
in that regard. I'll just let it be.
Right. You see what I had to throw away there?
Oh, what am I doing? I'm wondering why I'm so awkwardly didn't have my mouse set up. There we go. What did you throw away? Oh, two trust no ones.
Yeah, it's tough. All right. I don't know about you, but I feel like Lay of the Land, I always get it backwards. Um, I want.
Honestly, I look at like, what am I going to draw? Does it even matter at that point?
Right, right, right. I just want to make sure that I get to
Yeah.
draw the one I want to draw. There we go.
So, my next question for you is, what's your favorite card to play?
I've
For
listened to a couple of
fun
yours.
and yeah, so the fun and competitive one. So like what are your
Yeah.
two ones that you go for?
So I think for fun, it's definitely Bren the Fanatic by far. Like my best friend Matt would tell you, I'll go after any deck that has Bren in it just because I have to try it. It's
Okay.
one of the reasons I picked up this one. It's
Okay.
just so great. But as far as like what I think is really competitive, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I think Orator Hershido is amazing. Like that card just does so much damage.
Did you just Frains Blaster? You
I
jerk.
I did. I framed and then I code monkeyed and now I'm gonna do something else that's mean too. But this deck is crazy.
You can get rid of my Furnace now, aren't you?
No, you can that can stay out as long as you want. I'm not gonna give it back to you.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna call that a good turn.
Sure. Wow. Okay. So my next question for you is, what? So you said your favorite card is Brand, but what's like? Would you consider it like a fun card, or do you consider it like a competitive card?
Well, I think Brend can be really both. I just really, really enjoy figuring out ways to kill him. Like just there's in this
The
deck there's like
puzzle.
three. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 ways to kill him in this deck. And it swings games all the time. But as far as like competitive, I think Orator Horoshido. Oh, nice job with the graft. It does a lot of like work for me. Where like you play him. Like one time I played a pterodactyl, an orator, and a Cincinnatus Rex in the same turn, and it was just brutal because I played the orator in between the Cincinnatus and the pterodactyl. I readied them both, cleared the stun of the pterodactyl, fought with the Cincinnatus, readied them all, fought with the pterodactyl. It was just brutal.
Yeah, that sounds gross. You sound like a mean man when you play KeyForge.
Okay, what am I gonna do here?
So, what's your favorite house? Has it changed as the new houses came along, or did you kind of had one from the start and it's been unwavering?
Ooh, I've always liked Logos from the original set and the second set because I just like love archiving. And when I played Magic, I played
Hmm.
Blue, so it was always there. But with this set, Star Alliance has been really like at the top for me just because I love like complicated house cheating, like ready this guy from the other house and use him, which is why I like Orator. So
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
yeah, and I think you've said the similar on your podcast before.
Oh yeah, everyone knows I'm a huge fan of Star Alliance. They're so good. Like I just love I think the very first house that's existed where you can literally spend an entire game just calling that house and you're still cycling cards in your hand. I don't think that we've really had that before in KeyForge before Star Alliance came along.
Okay, so I'm going to warn you. I'm playing stealth mode. Don't forget.
That's fine.
Later, you might forget. All right, what am I going to do here? I'm going to reap, capture. I'm going to reap. I'm going to capture again.
You're the worst. I know what you're doing right now. Your silly Frayne combo. Oh, and I wonder if that gets warded next.
Hey, no fair ruining the plot of this fun story.
Wow, I'm gonna have to ramp up my questions because it's gonna be a fast game. Um, yeah, seriously. Do you seem to have like a house that you can't get away from when you're opening decks? Like you always seem to pull this house.
Oh man. Yeah. So I keep pulling Brobnar, and in this set it's really unfortunate. In the other sets it was okay. Um, I got kind of a reputation for playing a lot of Brobnar because of that, I think. But
Hmm.
I don't go looking for Brobnar. Um,
Right.
but it's just I have many many decks with Brobnar in it,
Okay.
which is unfortunate because it's kind of lauded as the worst now. So like,
Yep.
ugh.
That is an accurate statement. Yeah, I found I got a lot of Brobnar as well, especially with this set, unfortunately.
I remember when you opened up the box with Dan at the
Yeah.
Prime, or no, at the launch event. Actually, it was the day before the Prime, and I thought I was like, well, we should tell people like how we met. I think that's a pretty cool story.
Okay.
Uh, so I don't know where you want to start, but
Let's finish with this story and then we'll go on to the next one.
okay, yeah. So I was at that event and I heard you guys. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Blake. And I heard you like lamenting, and then I saw you like writing down on a piece of paper how many Brobnars you'd gotten. You were so upset.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate.
But I feel like they let you rotate the box, right? They let you.
They did, yeah. They were cool about it. They're like, you don't have to keep it. The guy let me swap it for something else. Wow, oh, that was so dumb. Why did I just do that?
I distracted you.
Yeah, you did. You're sneaky.
I love
I
E.
come. Yeah, E's amazing. Um, okay, so how we met. So basically Ryan and I met at a game store here in Vancouver, but Ryan's from Seattle. So he came down because you're boarding a cruise, right?
That's right.
Yeah. He was boarding a cruise and he came down and he just happened to be in town and decide, hey, let's play some KeyForge on Monday night. There seems to be a chain bound. Let's go check it out. And this was right before the Vegas Vault Tour because I remember I brought my Vegas Adela deck, Saloon Snake, and it had the quad miasma. And I played against Matt, and that was just a hilarious game. But I never got to play against you, but we met each other that night. And then when I came down to Seattle for the Prime at Uncle's as well as the release of Worlds Collide, I got to see you again. I didn't see Matt though, and that's when we actually, I feel like, really hit it off and became pretty close. Was at that moment, and then we kind of just been seeing each other in tournaments. Oh, I despise this Frains combo. Like, why I haven't dealt with this yet is beyond me right now.
I don't know. You let me do it, so I'm taking you up on it.
I know, I know. This is
I
just the silliest thing I've ever seen.
well, I was thinking about it by doing it on this thing. Like people are going to be like, "Oh," and then I'm going to go to the vault tour. They're going to be like, "We're not letting him do that."
No, there's like honestly, I'm distracted by. I've actually been playing really bad KeyForge today, and this is just a continuation of that experience. I'm not gonna lie, but that's gonna stop here. Oh, what is this? Whatever house I call, I have to.
No, it's not what house you call. You have to pick either your Logos creatures or your Disc creatures to die, and then if you pick your Logos, it'll kill my Logos as well.
Hmm, that doesn't solve problems I have.
But if you choose Harbinger, it'll do a lot of damage.
I know it'll kill everything except for your Frains, which is the thing I want to kill.
Fact. You could pick Dis though, and then fight with your Logos and kill him. That would work.
No, it wouldn't because Harbinger's going to kill everything.
Oh, it's true. Wow, I really did put a number on you here.
Yeah, this is not fair. I call cheat. How do I do this now? Okay, give me a second. I gotta think through the ramifications of my decisions here. This is such a pickle. Your order 24 is the worst.
I think the word you're looking for is the best.
No, actually, you know what? I do know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, this is the play. Because then when it goes to your turn, you get rid of Star Lines if I choose Star Lines right now. That's how I get through this.
Yep, yep.
I have to get you basically right now is how it works.
You have to either kill my guys or don't play any creatures. Otherwise, this game continues.
Yep. So let's do it this way. Well, this game is pretty much over. Here, have one of these.
Oh, thank you. You're so generous.
I want to get some Ember, so might as well do it this way.
Blammo. I remember on an earlier podcast you were explaining to somebody how to play General Order. And I was like, you're telling all the secrets.
That's the point of the podcast, Ryan.
I know. All right, watch this move. This is pretty cool.
Why is General... Oh, right. It'll destroy my turn.
Correct.
Okay, so my next question for you is, what is your most memorable KeyForge play that you've done?
I came prepared, and I thought of two. The one that I will tell you about, I actually have a video of. I'll send you sometime.
Okay.
This happened on my birthday yesterday, actually. So the setup is on Matt's turn. He Hysteria to get rid of some creatures that I had that had Ember on them. It was a good play. And then he ended his turn with no creatures out. Comes to my turn, and I look at my hand, and I'm holding a Hunting Witch, a Murmoc, and Flaxia, and I'm holding a Mimicry. So I made 8 Ember. It was great.
Oh my goodness, that's gross. You honestly, I find you like read in between the lines of the game itself. I feel like you notice really cool interactions that I think most people don't see right away. I find that very interesting.
Thanks, buddy.
Wow, that was gross. I really like this deck. This is a really solid deck.
Thanks, man. I like it a lot too. I wish I could kill this guy somehow, but I don't see how. So I'll just kill him. I wish it could have done one more and then Anomaly exploited him. That would be great.
Yeah, I saw you going for that play.
But yeah, that was one. And then the other one was pretty simple, actually. But I did a hit and run with a Sneak Lifter. So I played Sneak Lifter, then I stole a Library of Babel. And then I did a hit and run and picked up Sneak Lifter. And I put it back down and I stole a Proclamation. That was pretty choice.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
It never even occurred to me. I was like sitting there staring at hit and run, and I was like, what am I going to use this for? I don't have a Ronnie in my hand right now. And then I realized, oh, of course. All right. I think this is the finishing blow, I believe.
Seriously?
I mean, I'm not going to
started playing.
I'm not going to key cheat or anything, but that's one thing this deck doesn't have, unfortunately.
So the next question for you is, what type of tokens do you use? I'm always fascinated about the tokens.
Me too. So I guess this is like a plug for somebody else, but on Etsy, there's a Etsy shop that's called Buy Another Token, I think. I always get it wrong. It's like a pun like that. But they are acrylic tokens, and the claim to fame that I like about them is that they're dual-sided. So like my damage, like one side says 1, the other side says 2. And then there's another damage, it's like a 3, and the other side says 4, which I think is great.
That's interesting. Although I've never heard those numbers used before. It's usually like 1, 3, 5.
Right. By the way, I love CXO Tabor. He's like the biggest target in my life.
I know.
But I can't kill him right now. It's okay, though. I've got a damaged Brend and an Anomaly Exploiter. You have 1 turn. All right.
Thanks.
I'm just playing around.
No, you're not. I'm just playing around. It's going to happen.
Well, I mean, I'm just trash talking you. I'm not trying to be funny. I mean like that.
Oh, okay. I wish I could go higher so it wasn't even an issue. 1, 2. Yeah, I can't even do that. You're just going to steal 3. Yeah, this is the game. You're a jerk.
This deck is crazy.
It is. It's super awesome.
I just can't believe I didn't play it for so long. It just sat in my collection. So you were talking before. Oh, sorry,
I feel like we have a lot of decks like that. Like, I think everyone has decks that sit in their collection. They're completely unaware of how good they are.
Exactly. Let's see. You're at 7. Do
So here's a new question that I have just for you because I'm curious.
Bring
Is
it.
when you're what would you say you gravitate to more? Do you like to just crack like packs and see what you get? Or are you more of like look on the secondary market to acquire your decks?
Oh, that is a good question. I'm more of a I buy a box. I hang out with my friend Matt, and we do little sealed games back and forth. Just keep opening them. Sometimes we'll do adaptive, so it takes us a while to go through them.
Right.
Um, and then I actually list all of my decks on Decks of KeyForge for sale, pretty much. And then I usually am able to like sell like maybe 3 decks and get like enough money to buy another box. And I just keep doing that over and over again. So it's kind of the opposite of Lean Forge, really.
Okay. It's like it's more forge basically.
Yeah. Okay, what was I going to do here? Oh, I almost picked the wrong house. This
I know.
discussion.
Why do you think I'm trying to ask you these questions right now, Ryan?
Because you're an evil man.
I
All
am. This is my usually how I win.
right. Bren's dead.
Oh yeah, there's no way I win this one. Not only did I not win, I was embarrassed.
You're
Which is
embarrassed.
honestly, that was me today. I had a deck today that was like, actually, this is a good discussion for this. Um, I find sometimes in Keyforge, there are aspects to it where the game has things that are very like exciting, and you basically get caught up in the fact that there's these cards exist or these two cards together do X in the deck, and it's so like high profile that you almost rely on it. You know what I mean? Like you look for it when a lot of the times doing that, yeah, it's great, but it's actually not most likely what's going to have you win a game. It's just like a nice little cherry on top, so to speak.
Totally.
You know
Totally.
what I mean?
Like the Briggs combo or something.
Yes, like things like that, or like Martian generosity key abduction. I thought like it was interesting hearing like the Sanctimonious podcast this past week when they all played the same Jenka deck, Dan's deck, and their different approaches were like um Jake basically took the approach where he was looking for it every time, and then you had Alex, who his whole play was to literally not play it at all. Like if it came when it came, it that was great for him. And then Dan had it like a kind of a, I felt like almost like an in between sort of like, but that particular deck, he said it wasn't crucial, just as something that worked. And so this deck I played today was a new deck, and it was an Ortanu deck in Worlds Collide that had 3 misery exploits, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
And then it also had a Piranha Monkeys in the Untamed, which I thought was also great because it's again going to work into those misery exploits. And
Yep.
then it happened to have a reassembling Autonoma
Yep.
with a discombobulator to throw on there so that you're basically never worrying about that. And then it also had a neutron shark.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And then I did something, and I got so caught up in these combos. Like it only had the worst part about it is it only had 2 Ember Control cards, which was 1 Evil Eye and 1 Eat Eye. That was all it
Ooh.
had, and then it had a Mimicry as well if your opponent happened to have something you could use. So it really hurt because of that, and I think you had to play fast with it. But the problem is when you're focusing on all these combos, you're pretty much not playing fast.
Yes. Totally.
And so that was I kept getting this trap, and I trapped myself with the misery exploits like so many times. I was so frustrated, and I pulled off the neutron shark thing like so many times, and I figured something out that if I had a mimic gel in it as well. So it's like a really cool deck. Like the pieces itself are really cool, but the problem is that if you're looking for these combos and stuff, you're going to screw yourself up, which I did. I went 0-3. It was embarrassing. And like the problem was I just couldn't take people off keys enough. Like I could stop twice and that was it. And
Yeah.
so that was problematic. But the one thing I realized, which was really cool, was that when I put down my reassembling Autonoma and then I put down Mimic Gel and I copied it, you cannot get rid of them. It's not
Oh, yeah.
possible
Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't thought
because
of
you
that.
always will have 2.
Oh, I wonder if that's like,
You can never ever get rid of them.
I wonder if they don't make decks that have both of those.
I think probably, or it's extremely rare because then you'll always have them. And yeah, you can put Captured Ember or whatever. The only way you can get rid of them is Hysteria, essentially, or like Return to Hand, Nature's Call, stuff like that.
Purge work.
Oh yeah, I guess a purge would work as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the deck has an unnatural selection, which is sweet when I realize this because I could literally get 2 extra creatures every time because I just choose those to get destroyed and they just go to other side.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
so yeah, like I said, this deck had a lot of really cool combo potential, but because it lacked the Ember control and I got so fixated on it, I was just playing bad KeyForge as a result, and I was so frustrated with myself afterwards. I can't believe I did that. Like that was just so dumb. And I almost feel like I did that with this tonight, but this I feel is more like I just don't know how to play this deck, and you clearly know how to play your deck.
I've played it. I think like I want to say like 20-ish times, and I have a really great win rate with it. It's pretty. That's why I've been liking it so much.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like 20 is the kind of the magic number. That's when you really know, like, okay, I'm starting to understand this deck, and when I'm playing it, I'm never like, what should I do here? You know, I feel like when you've hit 20, that question never happens, and that was obvious. You played like everything looked like you basically gave a showcase here on how to play a deck well, and I just showed how to be a fool. So that's cool.
Well, it's interesting because you were talking about that other deck. One of the reasons that I never played with this deck is because I've always been like, oh, doesn't have strong Emperor control. Don't take it, you know. And this deck, I didn't play it for a long time just because of that. And so, like, you even trying that deck that only had just Evil Eye and what was the other one?
Edai.
Edai. Like, that's awesome. I commend you. I mean, you're gonna find really cool decks if you're willing to try.
Yeah, that was the thing, and I mean, I have a friend I play KeyForge with, and he doesn't play competitively, so I cannot bring good decks. If I bring a really good deck, I just win heavy, and it's not fun. So I try and find like matchups that we have with our decks, which are really fun games that are really close, and we'll just keep playing those matchups because they're a lot of fun. Like I even have one where it's in the 70s, and his deck is like in the mid 60s, but somehow the decks like they go always down to the wire and usually he wins. It's like it's a really funny thing, but I mean it's just that's one of the fun things of KeyForge. Okay, closing question. As you know, I bet you prepared for this one. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. If you could have any character in KeyForge be your spirit animal, which character would it be?
My spirit animal?
Yeah, your KeyForge spirit animal.
Huh. Okay, I would have to say Helper Bot, just because.
Okay, that's a good one.
Well, first of all, I should have mentioned earlier it's one of my favorite cards, but I love how it can make cool combos. Like it's the definition of house cheating. But
Hmm.
for me, it really resonates because like I feel like a lot of my job, like I guess you're a coach Boulevard Paper Fight, but a lot of my job as a manager really is about coaching my team, and so like kind of putting my team together with whatever's in their way, and so kind of resonates with me. Like I'm the helper bot for my engineers at Amazon.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, honestly, I love like you said the logos from AOA. I absolutely love it. But it's so unfortunate because if you have an AOA deck with logos in it, that means you literally have one house that has no Ember control.
Yeah, totally, exactly.
I thought they made good leaps in Worlds Collide by adding Ember control, but still keeping the identity of the house. Like Edai, I think is maybe the most like the greatest achievement of Ember control in logos, I would say, because
Well,
it's a very logos thing to do, and
I like it because it's like it's a ember control that doesn't leave your opponent feeling really bad. Like stealing is just done. Like it's so final. And
yeah,
capturing, I can see it. It's right there. I can grab it. And then increasing your key cost, it's like, okay, if I deal with this problem, I'm back in the game. And so I
yeah.
really, it's the right thing. And like you said, it's a great innovation for logos.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's that's a great way of putting it. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for tonight. I need to go sulk in the corner in my hat of shame from losing so terribly
Ah,
to Ryan.
we'll have a
Honestly,
rematch someday.
you're a great KeyForge player, so I maybe should have hit a little bit of higher weight class instead of matching your sass or brought something I actually knew well. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I enjoy having conversations with you, and thank you for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. Where can people find you online if they want to scout you out in some way or another?
Uh, my alias on the Crucible is Ryan CH, aka Jodda, Jodda.
as you can see on screen right now. Maybe or
Yes.
maybe not.
Yep.
And are you on any of the Discords or anything?
I'm on the Discord for Seattle, Ryan CH, and I'm on Facebook under my name, I guess.
Are you
I'm
on
not
this? Aren't
really.
you on the Sanctimonious Discord too?
I am. I am as well. Yes.
Okay, same thing, Ryan CH.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, Ryan, and I hope I will see you. Actually, probably won't see you soon with everything that's going on in the world. There's probably not much traveling going on, but we can still jam some TCO games from now and then.
You got it. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. And as always, everyone, may your ember never be stolen and your keys forged promptly. Have a good one.